Hello, my darling. How are you doing? Very warm welcome to this energy update around the time of the Leo full moon in 2022, February, towards the end of February. How are you doing? Let's just take a deep breath together. Just keep breathing. So if you're new to this podcast, my name is Nancy. I'm a shamanic practitioner living between London, the UK, and the Amazon rainforest and the rest of the world, just about across the cosmos. And this is a podcast that I channel mostly to go alongside the new and full moon ceremonies that I currently am doing online. And this podcast really created itself. It's something that I wanted to do sometime in the future, and it just sort of happened, which sounds quite unbelievable. I've already explained that in another podcast, but so I've kept going with it. And if you are interested in joining any of the moon ceremonies, there's one that goes with this podcast that's on the 16th of February in the evening online. The details will be on my website, on my Eventbrite, in the show notes. But yeah, the idea for this podcast, really the intention is just to help people navigate their way through, people who are trying to do the work, try to be the best versions they can be, working through their karma and working through their stuff. And sometimes that can get a bit confusing, or you can feel a bit stuck. And thankfully, energy has started channeling through me, and can give people a bit of a heads up in some cases. So I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. As you listen, you may find that certain things resonate quite strongly, and you can experience that sort of like a light bulb moment, or maybe even physically that kind of goosebumps, tingly feeling, or something like that. It's just an activation that's taking place. Sometimes people like to take notes as they go through. I try to keep it in some sort of order, but the messages just come through, as I said, in a channeled way. So they sometimes seem a bit jumbled up, which is why I recommend writing it down if you want to. But if you're out and about walking around, that's absolutely fine too. Whatever works for you. I'm always encouraging people to make time for themselves at the moment anyway. So if you can, find a nice place to just get comfortable. If you're into candles and things that smell nice, get your crystals or whatever your sacred objects are around you, and just tune in. You can listen to it obviously as many times as you like, share it. I also try to get it up on YouTube, but time has been quite slippery lately, so it might not get on YouTube in time. If you are listening on YouTube, welcome. If you're one of my gorgeous Patreons and you're listening afterwards, big warm welcome to you as well. So yeah, just a reminder, sometimes I might go a bit quiet. There might be changes to my voice. It's just because I'm channeling, I'm trying to process information very quickly. It comes through to me sometimes as words, sometimes as pictures, sometimes as feelings. And I'm trying to turn that all into human English words as I go. And usually it makes sense. But with that being said, let's jump in. Okay. So, we're really in the Leo energy now. And as always, a full moon is about really getting into what's working and what isn't working. So it's always a good time to make an inventory and consider some of the things that just need to go. It's quite good to constantly be taking an audit of what serves you and what doesn't. That way you can kind of keep moving at your own pace. Nothing's going to throw you off guard. So what's been working and what hasn't, and what needs to go? And I always encourage people to think about an intention over markers in time, such as changes in the season or full and new moons, however it works out for you. Maybe it's just every Friday. All right, so okay, so the energy that's coming through is really positive. It's no surprise, fiery, but we can expect revelations. That's a theme that's been coming up for most of this year, actually. Revelations coming through, but this time it's an opportunity to discover some hidden talents, some hidden joys. Okay, so lighting that fire inside you, seeing what direction you want to go in. Yeah. Okay, so it's really important and really powerful now to think about what you want to release. Mhm. Yeah, so the energy, okay, that's that. Okay, hang on, they're talking to me really fast. All right, so the Leo energy is always around the heart, the spine, the upper back, and even the blood. And the heart is our center, and the spine, it supports that, and then the blood moves everything around. So it's a crucial time, especially as we're coming out of winter now towards spring, towards summer, to consider what lights us up, what keeps us strong, what keeps us going, and what keeps us flowing. If your energy is kind of feeling out of balance, there's watch out for narcissistic behavior from yourself or from other people. It's like the shadow side to being in confidence, any selfishness. So yeah, again, just keeping a check on yourself. Yeah, really honoring that fire within you, but without singeing yourself or anybody around you. That's what they're showing me. I'm going to be honoring that in the ceremony on the 16th as well, honoring that fire within and trying to just make sure it's not burning out of control. So as we move out of winter and that hibernation time, which is really necessary if we were able to do that, it depends how how much the work has been thrown your way. I've certainly been coming up against a lot of my own stuff and had to just take it with grace and ease. It's just laugh when you can amongst the chaos. But we can move now into that kind of creative state of even more abundance because we're coming out of that winter phase. All right, but it's really important. We can use the energy now for just tying up loose ends, especially where health is concerned. Yep. So, anything that you've been meaning to do to put yourself first around health, getting the eye test, having the blood test, reviewing your supplements, your diet. Yeah, there's a big message about the people around, not having any toxicity in any area of your life. It's really important to be clear and knowing what you want and excited for what you want. You just, yeah, you can't move forward with one foot stuck in the mud, stuck in the past. Okay, hold on. Right, so some ways you can do that is writing things down, making lists, pros and cons, spending time with yourself. You can burn what you've written as well, offering it back to source. You can create your own affirmations once you've identified what needs to go. hmm and do the thing that scares you. Have that conversation, book that flight, quit that job, whatever it is, like taking a leap of faith. And perhaps if you have been putting stuff off with self-care out of fear or whatever, it's time to really look into that. All right, yeah, okay. They're really talking about taking care of our bodies. Okay, because we've had such massive upgrades, whether we're conscious of that or not. We've had these huge DNA shifts, and light code activations is the only way I can explain it. And just seeing everybody on the planet just lighting up and connecting in a different way. And we've got to take care of our bodies to be able to handle that. And also, yeah, don't get exhausted on that really attractive Leo energy. It's big and exciting and it's wild and it's fun, but use that wisely because you can burn out. And the power and the confidence that is, in the air, in the energy that's coming through, you can use that to drive your personal change and create essentially more of what you want. So it's important to show the universe that you know that you matter and you want more of the good stuff, the abundance in every area. The message of health is a strong one because, yeah, the physical part of us is the last part to kind of change. The external world is the last part to change. So make sure you're in a good way, but not so much like you're beating yourself with a stick to, it's not really about dieting and all that sort of stuff. It's just making those positive changes. Okay, it's coming through really fast. All right, so yeah, seeking your own answers inside. Yeah, so taking the time to meditate, to relax, to breathe, to stretch, to do what you need to do. Um, if you need to calm your energy, chamomile is a good one. Black and green tea are good for the blood and the heart as well. Just going easy on the fire energy. So yeah, trusting your intuition. Gosh, we've been saying that for a long time on this podcast, haven't we? So making space, holding space for yourself to meditate and ask yourself any questions that you need the answer to. You don't need to ask anybody outside. It's all in you. And hopefully you know that now. Okay, so karmic release. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, over lifetimes. So, wow, there's potential now, between now and May especially, okay? May. Oh gosh, okay, between now and May. To release old stuff, karma from lifetimes, so patterns, things that you haven't been able to shake off. Now is the time. So, have a good look at yourself with love and compassion. What is the thing that you keep doing? What is the pattern? What is the repeating, limiting belief? And sometimes it can be hard to find those sneaky sods. You don't know that they're operating in that way. So just really slowing down, like as much as you can. All right. So, and that includes looking at how we're showing up in the world, because there's an energy behind us, behind us, above us, all around us. We're swimming in it. That there's some opportunities likely to arise for many of us to change how we're showing up, to match more how we want to show up, going for what you want, taking risks, feeling that fire again to stand up, be counted, say what's right for you, speak what's in your heart. Being clear is so important, and feeling like you're operating from that heart space and you have the voice and the clarity and the security to do that. Okay, so what this is really about is um, striking balance inside ourselves. So in every area, So while everything is kind of dynamic and fast moving, we've got to be centered and balanced in our masculine and feminine energy between what's going on inside of us and what's going on outside, inside you, and where you fit into the whole. Okay. You might feel strong energy in the solar plexus area. And it's just a reminder to breathe and keep that area clear. Okay, and in the heart, courage. There's courage in that they're showing me. Oh, wow. The Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz. And that's interesting because it's a Leo full moon. So the courage to move and go deep into your heart. So, I mean, yeah, it can feel uncomfortable because it's yet another opportunity to grow and get aligned. So, of course, that can be really uncomfortable. But do you really want to stay where you are? And you know when it's okay. Deep down, you know when it's okay to just like take a breather. And when you're being asked to move. So just, yeah, trust your judgment on that. And like on the other side of this, and simultaneously, because time is a weird construct, there's support available to create and manifest what it is that you want to create and manifest between now and May. So just really catching any of those thoughts because you're going to attract it all. So, there's no point beating yourself up, saying you're tired, saying you got no time. All of those things are going to frame everything in the more positive light, and taking care of ourselves. So this is really a time that we've been waiting for. It just might not immediately feel like that, but that's okay. It might feel intense. Full moons can be intense. But it's okay, breathing, grounding exercises, following your intuition. This is really a time that your soul's been waiting for. Okay, yeah, so the energy of the next step unfolding, the answers becoming clear, opportunities opening up. You got to be ready to see those opportunities and ready to make those moves when the opportunities come up. Like a lot of the attitude in the lower Amazon is like you spend most of your time really just chilling, relaxing, just like the animals. And then you've got the energy to move and the clarity to make the right decisions when the time comes. And that's really what we're being asked to do. All this busy, busy, busy. It's really difficult to, navigate that. But again, boundaries. Okay, so that might feel like a test around receiving and boundaries. Saying no to people, switching off the phone, quelling any fears, any anxiety. So yeah, really, well, we're always required to try and be in harmony, and all these little tests are to see, for example, that we are in harmony. Can we give and receive in equal measure? Can we love unconditionally without damaging ourselves? All those kinds of things. All right. So things coming to light again. Yeah. So there might be something that you couldn't see before, or maybe you buried deep down, maybe especially connected with the heart. It's coming back around now. So you kind of knew it was there, but you didn't want to pay it any mind. It may take the form of an ex, a friend, a family member. But there's an opportunity, an energy of opportunity to show you something that's really deep in your heart. And if you can go there, it's going to really open things up in a wonderful way for you. Yeah, so you might be aware that heart is louder now. You've made space. You've cleared a lot to be able to hear it. Yeah, to speak out even about It's just something you can't ignore anymore. There's a lot of that going on in the world and the matrix at the moment anyway. People are finding the courage to just go for it. And we're really being supported to do that fully and to really be ourselves. I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing. And it's global. It wasn't that long ago. I was really too scared to do what I do publicly. It was all very clandestine. And that was lifetimes of stuff anyway. Well, stories, but a lot of fear around that. But so many people are doing what I do now, and it's probably the same for you. So just be yourself. That's what you're here for. Okay. If you're seeking to quiet the mind, chatter, this is time to, just feel into your heart more. How do you experience your heart? How do you feel? How do you know when your heart's communicating with you? It's quite an art to know the difference between your head, your heart, your ego. But this time is likely to give you the confidence to just know what it is that you want and to get out and do what you want, what you need, more importantly. Okay. So, we're still shedding those skins. Sifting through what stays and what goes from your life on all levels. And this does require a certain amount of confidence and risk. But it's about paving the way for what you want and what you need for your highest good and growth. So, I'm kind of echoing on from the last few moons. It's time to choose what you want next. What are you creating? There's so much emphasis coming through about really listen to your heart, take the leap of faith. It's time to go for it. I'm just wondering. In my life, I can certainly see that happening at the moment. I wonder what it means for you. Let me know. Okay, so you might see opportunities now that you didn't see before. So, that inner voice is going to tell you. Because really, a lot of completion. Okay, hang on. Okay, so if you've been working on, let's use the word healing something for a long time, karma, lifetimes, all of that, chances are it's actually complete now. You've reached a point of being able to move on from that. That's good news. That's good. So ending karmic cycles, really moving into the new paradigm. Okay, so in order to do that, pay attention to your beliefs and what you're saying to yourself. Always being conscious of what you're saying, what you're doing. So opportunity to shift up a gear on how you're taking up space in the world, in your work, your relationships, all of it. And if you've been tired, you're probably going to feel a boost of energy now to just shove you through this portal. It's time. Yeah, okay. Again, taking care of your body, eat well, sleep. Okay, so there's a lot of activation and upgrading, reprogramming going on in sleep time. It's important to not have phones, electronic devices around because they're interfering with the frequencies. Even having them switched off is apparently not a good enough solution. Okay. If you're not clear, you might feel paralyzed, not knowing what route to take. It might feel overwhelming. So that's the message of taking care of yourself in every way and being conscious of the kind of They're saying to me about dirty energy, dirty electricity, and that's the stuff around us that we don't really pay any attention to in our environment, like the Wi-Fi and so on. So it's really important to hear that inner guidance. Mm. Mm. Okay, so you're here to be you, not who your parents thought they wanted you to be, or your teacher, or your kids, or your partner. You're here to be you. So, okay, so the question's coming, who are you? Who are you? I prefer to say, I don't know what I prefer to say, but reducing ourselves to labels I don't think is very useful. But maybe that resonates with you about who are you. I tend to think like, what am I? And sometimes I can answer that, and sometimes I can't. Okay, so what do you want to do? Who do you want to be to show up and live life to the fullest? Yeah? How do you want to show up? Who do you want to be to live life to the fullest? Are you afraid? Are you afraid of being in your power? Are you afraid of going for what you really want? If so, why? So it's a great time to think about, what would you do if you just couldn't fail? If it was all just going to be amazing, where would you go? Who would you be? What would you say? What kind of risks would you take? Think about the change in that energy. If you can't fail and you're free to go for something, how different your life would be, how different you'd feel. The question I always like to ask people I work with, especially in a therapeutic capacity, is, what would you do if you completely loved yourself? And that can really bring about a different answer. Yeah, just we never know how things are going to turn out. That's the risk. That's the beauty. That's the journey, the magic. And it's amazing when you can say, well, it didn't work out as I thought, but I met this person, or this opportunity came up, or whatever else came out of it. So just kind of looking for that golden lining in everything. Okay, they're showing me a wheel turning. The wheel, the karmic wheel, the nature wheel, like the wheel is turning, and it's time for us to step into our future. I'm kind of getting this mixed image of like a water wheel, like in a water mill, but also an escalator, and how you have to like step off the escalator at some point, or you're going to get your toes stuck in the end. Okay. So some people might have a little bit of a thing with ego coming up for them, but your ego can be your friend. There's a bit of a myth about, let's kill the ego, whatever. But it's really useful to make friends with it. Fighting it and disowning it is just going to lead to trouble. If you disown any part of yourself, it's going to bite you in the ass. It's going to come for you like a ninja. So make friends with that ego. So when it does kick off and, try and control you or whatever, talk to it. Ask it what it's trying to do, how it's trying to help you. It's only trying to help you, but it's just got a funny way of doing it. So, yeah, there might be a lot of work there for some people. So, okay, there's support, energy to be letting go of a lot of stuff now. And it might even surprise you, some of the things that are ready to go. All of that outside story and drama is just continuing. And yeah, you just need to know who you are amongst all of that, knowing what your truth is, because then you're behaving, you're living in the highest good of all. So how can you keep your energy clean and kind of close to you? So it's quite an important part of when I bring people back from a shamanic journey. Like, sealing that energy in, sealing all of that light in, because many things, tear at our energy and bleed our energy from us. So how can you keep it clean and keep it close to you? You don't want to be being drained, wasting it externally on people, on work, on certain things, just being drained, be very conscious of where your energy is being utilized. And that's part of the balance, especially where the masculine and feminine energies are concerned. I always feel like that's quite important around a full moon, because the moon is aspecting the sun, the masculine feminine energy. And it's really important to have that alignment. Things will be easier for you when you can lean into one more than the other at certain times. If you can give and receive, if you can care for and be taken care of, And some people, it's part of our journey for all of us at some stage, more comfortable with one than the other. Yeah. So if you are in alignment, this time's going to be pretty fun for you. Yeah, easier. And if you're not finding it easy, it's okay. Lean into that discomfort and see what it's trying to teach you. You don't need to overcomplicate things. You don't need to overthink. You just need to know what your truth is and step into that. And that's going to release any feeling of pressure. And if you do feel pressure, just breathe, step back, take an inventory. Just remember, nothing's ever lost. A lot of people I work with, and they think, oh, it's too late for this or that or the other, and they're in a bit of a rush and they feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that and I've wasted all this time. No, nothing is lost. Nothing is lost. If you take a new direction, it doesn't mean you failed or what you were doing before was a waste of time. And it's very important that you know that, because those kinds of thoughts are just going to pull you down energetically. Everything has happened as it should. And sometimes things take a bit longer than we want or we expect, but it's okay, especially if we're being conscious. So, yeah, just that stepping back of conscious, stepping back and looking at it from the condor's viewpoint. And then jump in. You don't want to have to learn the same lesson more than once, And yeah, reaching out to people who can give you a hand where if you need it. So it's a great time to have some fun where you can, just focusing on how to make your life playful, your own play, and through that you'll grow. And you don't have to engage too much with the distractions of the world. There's a lot of play trying to distract us and disempower us. And for whatever reason, I don't really care for why that's happening. It is happening, and you don't have to engage with it. You can just enjoy your life and, laugh about the synchronicities. Have you noticed the synchronicities? Have you been having this lately? And how quickly things are manifesting? It's really incredible. For me, I get a lot of the number patterns, and for me, that's a message from elsewhere, the higher power or whatever. It's like, you're doing good, kid. You're on the right track. And I love it. I love that little reminder, because I still have moments where I think, Nancy, are you sure about this? This is a totally wild direction you're taking here. Are you sure? And then I get these reminders and I think, well, maybe I'm mad. I don't know. But I'm enjoying myself. So for the most part, anyway, trying to not be too attached to the suffering of the human condition. Yeah, so okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so because of the kind of changes that are taking place within everybody, there are people in situations that are waiting to align with you, with each and every one of us, and it's time for that to happen, and it is happening. There are people they might not even know, and you're in the same position, you're waiting to meet these other people, but they're waiting to meet you and connect with you and expect you accept you and go the distance with you. That kind of, I found my people have found me. I can relax into this. And all you need to do is be yourself and just drop that conditioned baggage, all those old stories, being happy, being free, getting out there. And, if you feel like fighting the energy that's trying to push you forward by way of change or decision making, all those kinds of things, like, it's okay. It's just an energy trying to push you forward into, what some people might call their future self, their higher self. Because there's a really nice energy of partnership, compatibility, people coming together, remembering the connection that we all have to each other, to the earth, to everything. That compatible energy of soulmates, even love, romance, even those things. So it's a great time to get out and communicate and network if that's at all possible for you. You might not be in a position to do that, but if you are, it's a really good time for it. And we're all going to attract the right people. So just don't be weighed down by any of that old stuff. Yeah. Okay. And it's okay. Your beliefs and your alliances, they're going to form. There's that real energy of connection that's really not too far down the road. It's already happening, actually, for a lot of people. It is actually. The more I'm feeling into it, I'm getting the real goosebumps on that front. That's exciting. Spent a long time thinking I was just going to be the old lonely witch on the side of a mountain somewhere. I suppose there's still time. Okay. So I suppose, yeah, the shadow side to this is some people who are out of control, and just in fear, let's say, very low vibrational energy like fear, those sorts of things, that they might lash out. And this is something you could be aware of for yourself as well, potentially. That's the kettle in the background there. My mum's just put the kettle on. Do you want a cup of tea, anyone? Yeah, so that being out of control, then they might want to try and take your power and control you. So just be aware of that. Just being aware of, little subtle gaslighting here and there, or maybe even grander gestures of however people do controlling things. I don't know, I'm not really engaged with that. But just be aware of it and you trot on, darling. You don't have to engage with it. See ya. Okay. So yeah, it's really positive all in all. As with everything, it just depends on your sort of perspective, your point of view. How much you're going to struggle and fight, how much you're going to go with the old flow. It does feel like a very beautiful energy. It's a powerful energy. In myself, I feel quite calm and humorous, even considering all the loco stuff that's going on, and that the old Nancy would have just had a total meltdown about. I'm just like, well, I'm only going to make things worse if I drive myself mad about it. And, it's all good. You're growing, you're expanding, you're changing, you're meeting new people, you're making space. That's good. That's what I'm here for. So I wish you all the best for the coming weeks. I hope you have a lovely time and enjoy yourself and meet all the right people and make all the changes that you need for your happiness. Shed those skins, let those tears fall, do whatever you've got to do. And of course, there's lots of ways so you can work with me if you want to. All my contact details are like in the notes. I'm still going to be in London for a while. I'll be going back to Peru in kind of April or May. So I'm still working, doing shamanic healings, cacao ceremonies, kambo, and it would be amazing to connect if that calls to you. Obviously, the moon ceremonies are still going on. It's my intention to do more podcasts. I want to put more shamanic journeys and meditations out, but it's just been a wild ride. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but it's my intention. It's in the pipeline. And yeah, as I said, there's a ceremony on the 16th for this Leo new moon, just to help clear your energy, get you into alignment, set a few intentions, get your boundaries straight. And that would be amazing to see you. But anything you need, please reach out. Tell me how it's going for you. I'm really loving all the love on social media. I haven't taken to social media as easily as some people. I'm kind of connected in a different way. So it's really nice to, when I do log in and stuff, to have these nice messages and nice emails from so many beautiful people. And I really feel like doing this and moving out to online and coming out of my own hidey hole with all this shamanic business, coming out of the shamanic closet that I was hiding in for about 20 years. It's been really amazing just to know that there are other people out there into it. And that's you. So yeah, I've got also a dieta, also known as a retreat with master plants, mainly ayahuasca. Next, the months all go to mush in my head. July 2022. So yeah, if that calls to you, let me know. If there's something I can do for you, let me know. And yeah, just to stay true to yourself. Sending you loads of love. Beautiful, beautiful people. Take care.